I'm always thrown into the deep end, and I'm always that person that would want to go out of the deep end, no matter what. I don't care which hurdles I have to cross or who I have to head on the way, but I'll do it. That's me.
After publishing our first short documentary of what's truly going on behind the curtains in Netball South Africa, we've been approached by a number of stakeholders with more information about what's truly going on. We further approached SASCOC with a letter asking that they launch an independent investigation to investigate the allegations or the alleged allegations that has been made about Netball South Africa and the manner how it's been managed and how the leadership of the structure have conducted themselves. We've unfortunately not received any response from SASCOC up to date. It is shocking for us to see how many individuals are afraid to go public with the information to their exposure due to threats received from some of the parties that are involved in the allegations in Netball South Africa. We have, however, been approached by individuals who has had enough and who have been willing to go public and speak to us about what they know with regards to what's going on in Netball South Africa and how it is being managed.
My name is Eric Matawata. I'm from Polokwane in Limpopo province. I'm a member and a coach at Young Fighters Netball Club. I've been involved with netball since high school, I think. And then I'm a member of our local municipality committee. Yeah, I am a victim also. Yeah, I think it started in 2013, if I still remember very well. I wrote a letter to our sports confederation to say we need a meeting with them because we wanted to explain or to find out if they knew what was happening within our federation. And then when I got there, the person who was running the meeting was supposed to be the the confederation chairperson, but I found out that the person who was running the meeting was the lawyer that was hired by Cecilia Molokwane. So the hearing went on. I tried to ask if I can present my case before they can proceed with the hearing. They refused. They didn't want to listen anything from me. And then okay, they decided to take decision. They said to me, I'm banned from all the sporting codes. And then I said, okay, from all the sporting codes, what have I done? Because I wrote a letter to ask for a meeting. That made me banned. Then I left. They said no to me, I must sign some document. I refused. I told them that I'm not going to sign that document. And then I left. And then she started telling people that, Cecilia Molokwane, she started telling people that I'm not allowed to enter any sports events or any facilities. And then I stopped, but I was still active at my club. And then come 2017, Cecilia became president. And she said straight, I'm going to revive that thing. Eric is still banned. I'm the president now. We wanted to have a meeting with the Sports Confederation because of the way she was doing things. We had a committee where she was not allowing people to do their own jobs, like everyone who's got portfolio in the committee, but she was doing everything. Like for example, when you go to the trials, maybe let me say for under 19, she'll go there, she want to be head selector, she's the president, she's everything. And then if she doesn't like you, you must know that you're not gonna go anywhere. So she'll just say, she'll pick them by hand. You are a team manager, you are a coach. She'll do that every time when we go to the trials. Then that's when I decided, I actually was not alone. She said that some people, they decided to step back because they were scared of victimization. And then I was there alone. So because of that letter, that's the reason why she said I'm banned.
My name is Mimi Mthethwa Zulu. I was president of Netball South Africa from 2005 to 2017. I think netball has always been something that I enjoy, and I'm very passionate about developing sport in general. I'm a sports person. I played netball, and I believe that I've done a lot for netball in South Africa as well as in Africa. When I left netball in 2017, I took a break. I just went out completely. I never spoke about my time at Netball South Africa, and I believe there is a story there. In fact, there are so many stories that can come out of my time at Netball South Africa. And I'm also very humbled that this year there is the Netball World Cup in Cape Town. And funny enough, I might not be in the limelight for the netball being in the country, but those who follow sport and those who understand how sport is built and developed would definitely agree with me when I say I played a very, very big role in getting netball to come, the World Cup to come to South Africa. So then people would start talking to me about netball. People still call me, asking me, where do I take my child if I want to join the Spar Proteas? So basically, my comment on that would be, I wouldn't really know how it's being run, but there are concerns that people so often raise. For instance, if I were to refer back to how netball was run during my time, then I would find that probably concerns are stemming from the fact that a lot has changed.
My name is Joseph Taylor, also known as Mhlongo. I'm a member of Netball South Africa, and I've been a member for over 20 years. I'm a coach, I'm a qualified umpire, I own a club. I'm also an executive member of KZN Netball Federation. For a lot of us, it's an indictment. We don't get to enjoy the fruit of what we've been giving in for 20 years and above, because there are those who come to netball for whatever reasons, and they want to feel in charge at the expense of us and others, and victimization is very high in the agenda within the sphere of netball at the moment. They want to be not respected but be afraid of. Hence you find that very few can stand up and talk about what is happening to them or to their structures or to their clubs. To me, it's not a very conducive environment to be at, not at all. Not for the betterment of netball, not for the development of the sport, and it's really atrocious. In 2021, I was called up by Netball South Africa to TNL in Pretoria to be a selector, and during the tournament, on the third day of the tournament, I was phoned and called up by a lady by the name of Monique, and she said she's sent by Netball South Africa. And when I got there, a lady who's now the director of demarcations was there, myself and Monique, and she said to me she's delivering a letter of suspension, and I need to sign it to say I understand what is written there. And I read the letter, and I said to her, what was succinct about the letter was that it was not signed. And I said, I'm not going to sign a letter that is not signed because I don't know who it comes from. And I don't even know who you are as far as Netball South Africa is concerned. I asked her, what do I do now? She said she's going to call the president and find out what she's going to do. Immediately after that, she told me that the president said I must pack my things and go. And she escorted me out of the precinct into the parking lot to say I should leave. I felt embarrassed. I felt victimized. I felt like I was a criminal, because that's how I was treated.
I remember when we hosted Diamond, it was Diamond Challenge here in Ellis Park. She wanted to throw me out of the arena. She called some, I think they were part of the executive that time, executive, Cecilia Molokwane. She called them to take me out of the arena because she was busy saying, I'm bent. And then somebody asked her, if you think he's bent, what proof do you have? What did he do? And then, because he didn't have anything, and then it failed. Okay, fast forward, this year we had our Indaba that was called by Netball South Africa. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what she wanted to do. And then when we got there, my name was not on the list. We started asking questions. The person who was doing administration that day is still Monica Langa, who resigned from Netball because she's employed by Department of Sports and Culture as Academy of Sports Manager. But she's still doing administration for NSA. She's a friend to Cecilia. She's a member of Cecilia's club. I was allowed to go in. And then the meeting went on. Then we came to a point where she said our structure is being dissolved, our ILNA structure. Then they started asking why. And then she said, I called a meeting with you, you did not honor my invitation. And then somebody asked her, you called a meeting, in which capacity? Because it's not your department. And then she said, I'm a president, I can do as I want. That's what she always say. You know what she did? She said to us, each and every district, go and sit and decide who's going to represent you. But I'm the one who's going to put them in the interim structure. She picked them hand by hand to say, you are a coach, you are a chairperson, you are a treasurer, you are a secretary, just like that. Okay, it's fine, the committee is there. Now, in our district, we had elections, just in May. Our former chairperson, the very same person, Monica Langa, she was still the secretary in our account. She was still handling the account. But she resigned last year, but she's still handling the account. And then we did not play league games last year, and we affiliated. We found out that the money disappeared in the account. There is no money. There's nothing. We asked them, where's the money? No one is giving us answers. Then we said, we're not going to put our money in this account because our money is not going to be safe. We want to know where is our money. Until Sports Confederation came, and then they said, okay, let us handle this matter and investigate and find out what happened to the money.
So coming back to the Constitution evolves because it addresses what is there and what should be there. And there is no time when, during my time, when we as the executive would take the Constitution and just change it and then send it to council to say, this is the Constitution, now you've got to use it. And I don't remember also during my time when I, as president, would come with a clause and say, I'm changing this is what I want, because it's always a process. Now, bodies like SASCOC have got to monitor that. They've got to monitor that federations are run properly, there's good governance, and our constitution must always be aligned to SASCOC's constitution. I think that's law in South Africa. I don't know whether it's still applicable now because a lot of things have changed. Obviously, if you are a leader, like I was a leader, President Netball South Africa, I was a leader. I had probably the ideas that I would share with the executive. The executive also are human beings with minds, so they also came up with things that were positive, that were going to influence the growth of netball positively. We would sit together, share those ideas. If we felt that there was a need for a certain clause to be amended, then we would follow the correct processes and procedures. decide that this is the clause that we think should be changed, should be amended, give reasons why we think it should be amended, share how we think it should be amended, send that out to council so that they can also deliberate on it, and then they would bring back their inputs, and then a big meeting would be called where these inputs are going to be discussed, and at the end of it, the amendment would be then included and adopted. So that is how I know things should be done. I don't know whether things are done that way.
I went to the games as per invite, and I think I spent about 10 minutes in the precinct, and the same chairperson, my chairperson in eThekwini, was sent by the president, Cecilia Mercana, to ask me to leave the precinct, or she would leave herself, or she would call the police. And I asked why, and the answer was, I'm suspended and she doesn't want me next to her. And I decided to just, be, sort of mature about it, and I walked out of the precinct. I went home. I'm being victimized. I'm being disallowed to attend to netball events. I'm thrown out like I'm a criminal, and it's not good. It doesn't look good on me. It tarnishes my image as a person who I believe myself to be very high standing within the community that I work with professionally, as well as the community that I do sports with.
In that Indaba, they told the chairperson not to recognize my hand. Every time when I tried to lift my hand, they did not going to recognize me, because they knew that I was going to say a lot of things that they didn't want people to know. So at club level, she'll come even to our local games. She'll sit there and then she'll say, I'm a spectator today, and I'm going to say whatever I want to say. I'm a spectator. I'm not a Netball South Africa president. She'll mock our kids. For example, one day she came there. There was this team that was playing against her club, and then one of the kids was wearing Tommy, blue Tommy tekis. You know this Tommy tekis? I don't know if you know them. Yeah, and then she said to her player, that one don't mind her. She's not gonna defend you. Look at the tekis that she's wearing. The whole president. Even from our club, we're sitting with a player who actually she's no longer playing because of what she did to her. This player, she was wearing a t-shirt that's written, I'm more beautiful than you. And then a child, she went to that child, she said, so if you're saying you are more beautiful than me, are you saying you're beautiful than me? Referring to her. So, and this child, she's a child. How can you say that to a child? And we kept quiet as usual. You know, she will say things and do things, and then we keep quiet. She's controlling our district and province behind the scenes. As we speak, I was part of the under-19 team, the coach, the assistant coach for our B team. Even today, I don't know why I'm no longer part of the team. The team is busy participating in Cape Town. Even today, I don't know why I'm not part of the team anymore. They didn't even say anything. It was me and another lady. We were at camp 2 weeks back. And then all of a sudden, when we were sitting there on our group, we see a message coming in. Guys, this is our coaches for under-19. Our names are not there. No one is not saying anything. And I'm not saying I don't know who did that. I know that Cecilia Mulugwane, she's behind this thing, because she doesn't want me to be anywhere. Her and Monica Langa. Monica Langa, the person I'm talking about, she's our former chairperson. She's resigned, but she is still controlling our federation.
I think I asked the wrong questions. Hence, I became a target. One, I need to indicate here that I was the first person to actually report to the council that Cecilia Molokwane, as the president of Netball South Africa, had not been a member for 3 years, yet she's running the organization. For whatever reason, the council did not take me seriously. In fact, they brushed it off. So one wonders, is our council captured? I would say yes.
So there was a time when there was a cry by the Department of Sport and Recreation in KZN when I was the president. The cry was the committee there was not doing things correctly. So we were forced, my executive and I were forced to go and sit down with KZN. And we found that the people there were saying they don't know who is running the structure. Some people who had been running the structure had been there forever. They don't want to be taken out. They collude with people to be kept on positions. They were not serving the interests of sport development, netball development in the province. A lot of other corrupt actions were exposed. Like people would tell you that we pay to go to tournaments, but when we get there, our kids don't even have a proper accommodation. Our kids don't even have proper meals. At some point, I remember I was called, I think there was a team that was supposed to go and play somewhere in Cape Town, and I was called to be told that they didn't have accommodation. They were sleeping on the road in combis. They were sleeping in garages. You'll find that a combi will park, and then they will quickly go and wash in the toilets there. So such stories came to us. Now, when such stories come, and when the media gets wind of such a story, they will obviously phone you as President Netball South Africa. But it doesn't mean that it's your responsibility. It only means that your monitoring is not as strong as it should be. So in KZN, we went there. We had to go through a process with them. It wasn't nice. I got enemies there. And well, unfortunately for me, I don't keep enemies, and I don't even know that I've got enemies until it was 2017 during the elections that I realized, oh, I had enemies because of that exercise.
There were issues that were not correct as far as the finances were concerned, and the issues of employing people within Netball South Africa. I also discovered that Madam President had a person who was paid by Netball South Africa, who had been her personal assistant or PA at work where she worked. So this person got paid twice. She got paid where she worked in the municipal office, and she got paid by Netball South Africa full-time as a person who was doing whatever for the president at the time. And I brought that to the council, and it was also ignored. Sometimes we, as people, we are probably in positions for ourselves, or we are in positions because there are privileges there, or we're there because we are comfortable and we don't want to be removed, and we don't want to rub people off the wrong way, and therefore we must just keep quiet. Maybe they did not keep quiet. Maybe behind closed doors they spoke about it. But up to this day, I've never gotten an answer to those questions. It came to a point where the assessors and the graders were actually attacked. And they were attacked more by the president in alluding to the fact that the graders actually, before they could give the gradings or better gradings to the umpires, they asked for sexual favors from the umpires. That's what she said in a national council meeting. And I stood up and I said, Madam, you can't cast aspersions like that. If there is something like that, what have you done about it? If you have that knowledge at your disposal, have you taken that up to the disciplinary committee? Because such things need to be acted upon immediately. After having watched the first video that was produced by AfriForum, and after having realized that most sort of black people brushed it off, especially those who are politically inclined, brushed it off as a white thing against a black president, I decided it was time that I should stand up. And I also think that I've exhausted almost every process within sport or within Netball South Africa to get my voice heard. And up to this point, I don't think I've been heard enough. Hence, I decided today and this time to come here and say enough is enough. Victimization is enough. I cannot take it anymore. It's not good for my mental health, and I want it to be dealt with, and decisively so.
Unfortunately, the lack of intervention or feedback from SASCOC might be one of the reasons why the leadership and management of Netball South Africa has adopted the attitude that they are untouchable. We will therefore investigate the role that SASCOC should have played up until now, and if they have made themselves guilty to failing to protect this federation and the people in it, we will take further steps. The withdrawal of Vitality as a sponsor in the Netball World Cup should prove as a warning to sport federations and governing bodies that the private sector is fed up with mismanagement as well. We would like to urge the private sector to keep standing up against corruption and mismanagement and political agendas in sport in South Africa. Let's take a stand and ensure the future of sport in this beautiful country of ours.